14 would be happy and well, the Octomom has issued an unmistakable "we can." Wow, who could ever have imagined that Nadia Suleiman's historic delivery of 8 babies would turn from triumph to train wreck right before our eyes? It certainly has been one wild ride. Joining me tonight from Hollywood, Leslie Marshall, host of her own syndicated radio show, The Leslie Marshall Show. In New York tonight, it's Jane Velez-Mitchell, host of Issues with Jane Velez-Mitchell. You can watch her every weekday night. Every night, actually. You're on 7 nights a week, Jane, and we're happy about that. 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on HLN. So, guys, as we look back at the first 100 days of Octoworld, we have to remember the Octomom said she never, ever wanted to do a reality show. Remember that?
No.
Leslie, over to you. There have been so many disturbing and catastrophized developments throughout this whole ordeal, throughout the 100 days. Is there one that sticks out with you the most?
Actually, yes, and it's not long after the rest of the babies came home. If you remember, she kept saying it's in the best interest of the children. She cares only about the children. But move out of the way of the camera. I want all these strangers traipsing through with these medically fragile children are in the nursery so you can get a clear shot of me holding the babies for a few minutes. And honestly, putting those children at risk health-wise, that really sticks out in my mind, because I know when my kids first came home, I was afraid to go outside because of germs. You know, I definitely was germ-phobic. So that sticks out in my mind. And strangers, you know, they said there were people, they didn't know who they were. There was no identification, just camera crews, et cetera, coming in and out. That truly sticks. Everything sticks out of my mind, but that more so. Yeah, it's funny, when we think back to it, it sounds truly comical, but really, let's remember, it was pretty scary and dangerous, and that was something we were talking about right here. Get it? See the pants off? Joining me tonight from Hollywood, Leslie Marshall, host of her own syndicated radio show, The Leslie Marshall Show. In New York tonight is Jane Velez-Mitchell, host of her own show, Issues with Jane Velez-Mitchell, every night right here on HLN. All right, we have to begin with this brand new Octomom denial of all denials that despite all those reports that have been floating around, she never, ever, 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 ever worked in a strip club. In fact,
now she's saying, no, I did not use the stripper name, Angelina. Who's going to believe her?
Yeah. I'm waiting for those pictures to surface one day. Not saying that they will or that they even exist, but I'm waiting. Leslie, what do you think? I mean, she clearly does not want to be left alone, despite all of her never, ever, ever claims.
Well, she does not want to be left alone. Jane, I love you, but you've had too many beers if you think she looks like Angelina Jolie. And I would love to look like Angelina Jolie when she says, who would like to? And the fact that she doesn't know the magazine and she's holding the magazine.
She's trying to look like her. It's a big difference.
Definitely trying to look like her, a little collagen and lips there, which we always do after having a baby, right? But it kills me. She obviously, Jane wants to stay in the spotlight. I think this is why she is being so ferocious in her attacks regarding the stripper issue. But obviously, if she wasn't a stripper, that definitely is a problem, and she might have a suit which keeps her in the spotlight.
Well, let's talk about the attention she's bringing. Now, Leslie, Jane thinks that this lawsuit might not turn out to be such a great thing for her. What's your take on it? If it does turn out that she was not, in fact, a stripper, doesn't she really have a case here?
If she wasn't a stripper, she certainly can have a case if it can be proved. I mean, Jane specifically pointed out, rightly so, very accurately, the guidelines to slander or to libel lawsuits. When we look at what's happened here, when she said this guy even put his name in, you have to remember, if she was in fact planning or is in fact planning to sue, I think that her attorney would advise her not to be saying this publicly because there's an element of surprise, so to speak. So I'm not sure how they're going to get around it. Maybe there was somebody who looked like Nadia, had the same name as Nadia. Maybe she was there as a customer. Maybe she interviewed for a job. Maybe she has a bad memory. But I do agree with Jane that a lot of the threats that she's made in the past have not come to fruition, yet making the threats keeps her in the spotlight. If, in fact, these people are making allegations that are false, she might have some legal recourse, and obviously cha-ching, cha-ching, once again, would keep her in the spotlight and keep her richer.
But she always does tell the truth. You know, she says she doesn't read these celebrity magazines. I don't know about that. She was just featured on the cover of Life and Style magazine earlier in the